nakakatakot naman yung sinasabi nyo.
Oo, nakakatakot talaga, ma'am. Isipin mo si Percy Lapid na matay. Dahil hindi kayo naniwala. Noong una, tinatawagan mo si Percy na mag-iingat ka dahil papatayin ka na. Ayaw niya maniwala.
Ano bang pangalan nyo, sir?
Hindi na kailangan sabihin mo sa kay Roy Mabasa
Opo.
na itong buhay niya, pati ang buhay ni Mabasa.
From the nation's capital, all sides, all the time, I'm Robbie Alampay.
And I'm Gretchen Ho. The big story tonight.
Senator Hontiveros bared the threats against the family of slain broadcaster Percy Lapid as she called for government protection.
Meanwhile, different government agencies have now in their custody 10 individuals allegedly linked to the killing of Lapid. Mayan Los Baños with the big story.
Ano bang pangalan nyo, sir?
Hindi na kailangan sabihin mo sa kay Roy Mabasa
Opo.
na itong buhay niya, pati ang buhay ni Mabasa.
This is an excerpt of the audio recording where an anonymous caller is threatening the family of slain journalist Percival Mabasa, also known as Percy Lapid. The Mabasa family recorded the said phone conversation and gave a copy to Senator Risa Hontiveros when she visited the family last Monday. Hontiveros said the family allowed her to make the recording public.
Binigyang diin ng pamilya ang mga death threat kay Roy Mabasa, kapatid ni Percy. Pero bukod dyan, pati ang anak ni Percy na si Mark ay nangangamba na dahil pinangalanan na rin siya ng anonymous caller na ito na walang humpay sa pamimilit at pananakot.
Recall that Roy Mabasa told News 5 that he was able to talk to a person who introduced himself as a believed inmate. He was allegedly asking for money from Mabasa in exchange for information on who was involved in the killing of Lapid. Aside from threats, the anonymous caller also said that suspended Bucor Chief Gerald Bantag was allegedly involved in Lapid's killing.
Involved si General Bantag sa pagkamatay ni Percy Lapid. Isipin mo si Percy Lapid na matay dahil hindi kayo naniwala. Noong una, tinatawagan mo si Percy na mag-iingat ka dahil papatayin ka na. Ayaw niya maniwala.
Senator Hontiveros is set to give the recordings and text messages to the NBI and PNP to trace the source. The senator added that a Senate hearing may also be in order after the authorities conclude their investigation on Lapid's slay. We are still trying to reach Bantag to respond to his alleged involvement in the Percy Lapid case. But in his interview with DZRH, Bantag denied any hand in the killing of veteran broadcaster, saying that there are some people who want him out of Bucor, that is why he's being involved in the Lapid case.
Ito kasing si Miko Clabano na ito na spokesperson ni SOJ at yung tatay na Chito Clabano ay pumutok ang pangalan na gusto akong palitan kay General Katapak noon pang August, as early as August.
Meanwhile, Justice Secretary Boying Remulla said there are 10 individuals connected to the Percy Lapid case who are now under the custody of different agencies. Authorities are also tracing the other individuals named by Joel Escorial as involved in the Lapid case, including one with alias Orly and siblings Edmond and Israel de Maculangan. Reporting for News 5, Mayan Los Baños, we are One News.
President Bongbong Marcos is unsatisfied with the findings so far on the death of the supposed middleman in the Percy Lapid slay case. Ian Suyu with the details.
6 persons of interest in the Percy Lapid murder case are now under the custody of the Justice Department. Justice Secretary Boying Remulla says they have rounded up most of those allegedly involved in the killing of the veteran broadcast journalist. Among them are self-confessed gunman Joel Escorial, the sibling of the dead middleman June Villamor, and the second middleman Christopher Bacoto. All that's left for them to find out are Escorial's companions alias Orly, Edmund, and Israel de Maculangan.
Meron po tayong mga information na kung saan lugar sila nagtatago, so yun ay atin pong binabalidate.
Remulla says it is crucial for them to find the 3 remaining persons of interest to identify the mastermind behind Lapid's killing.
So we're waiting for them to surrender. Alam ko sila na lang hinahanap natin. Of course, we're looking at the masterminds. We have to exhaust all possible leads for the masterminds.
But President Bongbong Marcos is not satisfied with the initial report, saying that the middleman behind the Percy Lapid slay case died of natural causes.
I am still not satisfied that it was natural causes. So sabi ko, tignan niyo yun na mabuti because there are ways to kill a person that do not show up in the medical legal.
Marcos Jr. made the statement after Percy Lapid's brother Roy Mabasa criticized the president for, quote, being too quiet about his brother's death. But the chief executive said he is talking to both DOJ Secretary Remulla and DILG Secretary Ben-Hur Abalos up to 5 times a day to stay updated in the case. For him, the most important thing is to find who gave the order to kill Lapid and why he was murdered. For News 5, Ian Suyu, we are One News.
To give us the latest on the Percy Lapid slay case, we have with us on the line PNP spokesperson Jean Fajardo. Good evening, Colonel Fajardo. Welcome to the big story.
Good evening, Sir Robbie.
Ma'am, umpisahan po natin itong supposed audio threats na hawak ni Senator Hontiveros. How much weight and how much credibility are you giving these tapes?
Yes, Sir Robbie, even prior to the press con of the Senator Risa Hontiveros, the PNP, particularly the Southern Police District, already took cognizance of this recording. In fact, they are constantly coordinating and communicating with Mr. Romy Mabasa, and the PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group is now looking into this video recording for possible trace of the owner and account holders of this video recording. And just like what you have said, the PNP is seriously looking at this video recording. But however, we also need to be cautious because there might be some scrupulous persons behind this recording. Their only purpose is to get money from the victim. So we have to be careful also in vetting these numerous death threats and videos being uploaded in different social media platforms.
Threats have surfaced against not just the Lapid family, but also the Mabasa family. What security measures are you doing to ensure their safety, and who is in charge of that, given how complicated this case has been?
Yes, Ma'am Gretchen. Immediately after the incident involving the death of Sir Percy Mabasa, the Southern Police District, under the leadership of General Kirby Krapp, is providing 24/7 security coverage for the family of Sir Percy Mabasa as well as Romy Mabasa, because, like I said, we are taking this incident very seriously, including the possible threats coming from different individuals and even groups, to make sure that the family will remain secure and safe while the case is still being investigated by the PNP.
Ma'am, sinabi po ng Department of Justice they have at least, if I remember correctly, 6 persons of interest already in custody. They're looking for 3 more. Any updates po on these 3 missing persons of interest?
Like I said, the PNP is still undergoing vetting all the information being provided to us, particularly the possible location of the 3 at-large suspects named by the self-confessed gunman. And that is correct. There are at least 3 persons of interest or possible witness that are being secured by the Department of Justice, particularly the personalities mentioned and named by the sister of the middleman, and to make sure that no harm can be taken against them. The PNP, in coordination with NBI and DOJ, is closely coordinating with them to make sure that all possible witness accomplices are secured while the case is being investigated by the 2 agencies.
Colonel, other than these persons of interest having been named by the self-confessed gunman, ano pa po ang common denominator sa kanila?
Well, the common denominator will be the statement given by the self-confessed gunman. He named the 3 at-large personalities, and some revelations were also, additional revelations and information were also provided by the self-confessed gunman. And this information are now the subject of a follow-up investigation by the PNP as well as the NBI to zero in on the possible mastermind behind this the murder of Mr. Percy Lapid.
All right, President Bongbong Marcos has said he is unsatisfied with the current results. Has he given any marching orders and has he spoken with the PNP?
I'm not privy whether our president has personally spoken to our chief PNP, but our chief PNP already gave assurance that the PNP will not leave any stone unturned in this case, and we make sure that regardless of whoever will be the person behind this, whoever will be the gunman or even the witnesses we point into, we will give our assurance to the public that we will pursue this case, whoever and regardless who will be the individual or mastermind that will be named and possible. Again, we have to look at the evidence. That is more important, but we will proceed where the evidence points us.
All right, maraming salamat po. That was PNP spokesperson Colonel Jean Fajardo. After the break, we'll get updates on a situation in Abra from their Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office following the 6.4 magnitude quake that jolted the province last night. That when the big story returns, keep it here on One News.
Bond markets. They've also reiterated that the yuan would be basically stable. The comments were made at meetings held right after the Communist Party Congress, rather than in reaction to this week's slumps in China's financial markets. A Russian court has upheld the 9-year prison sentence handed to American basketball star Brittany Griner for drug possession. The two-time Olympic gold medalist pleaded guilty to possessing cannabis oil in vape canisters, saying she had made an honest mistake. A source says the Biden administration has offered to exchange Griner and another American held in Russia for 2 Russians jailed in the United States. Global news, 24 hours a day on air and on Bloomberg Quick Take, powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in more than 120 countries. I'm Vonnie Quinn. This is Bloomberg.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Did you say yes?
Okay. Can you please? Guys, can you look this way, please? Beautiful. Straight ahead, guys. Straight ahead. Can you look to the corner, please? Straight ahead, straight ahead. In the corner.
You're watching the big story here on One News. Hundreds of houses in Abra sustained damage due to the magnitude 6.4 quake that struck the province Tuesday night. This is the second major earthquake to hit Abra this year, following this magnitude 7 tremor in July. Josh Camo with the report.
This house in Barangay Pulot, Lagayan, Abra was almost completely wrecked after the magnitude 6.4 earthquake shook the province on Tuesday night. Neil and his family were sleeping soundly inside their homes when the earthquake hit. They immediately left for safety. However, his mother, Nanay Julieta, was left inside and was buried under hollow blocks. Luckily, Nanay Julieta made it out alive with only a few wounds on her hands.
Hindi ko naman alam kasi talagang yung mga hollow block nagkalaglagan na. Yung divider namin lahat na nagkalaglagan. Pati yung dyan sa yung pintuan namin iba na.
More than 200 houses in Lagayan were damaged by the earthquake. Pulot National High School also sustained damage. Walls and posts of the buildings were cracked. Classes in the whole province of Abra has been suspended as a result. The LGU is now asking the national government for help with essential provisions. FIVOX has since recorded more than 400 aftershocks as of Wednesday morning. The agency says aftershocks could last for several months, although they are expected to be weaker compared to the main tremor.
Aftershocks normally would take several days. Some could even take as long as several months. Pero habang tumatagal, humihina po yung lakas niya, nag-diminish na po yung lakas niya, and lumiliit na po yung counts natin ng aftershock.
This is the second major earthquake to hit Abra, after the magnitude 7 tremor that rocked the province last July. FIVOX referred to the term stress transfer as the probable reason for the recent quake. The agency says the stress released from the July earthquake may have transferred to a nearby fault. For News 5, Josh Camo, we are One News.
Here to give us the latest on the situation on the ground, we have with us on the show Arnel Valdez. He's the Project Development Officer for the Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office in Abra. Mr. Valdez, welcome to the big story.
Yes, good evening po at magandang gabi po sa lahat.
Opo, Mr. Valdez, as we just reported, pangalawa na po to hit Abra since July. How is the province coping at this point?
Actually po, ongoing pa yung recovery namin sa unang lindol na yung unig po sa aming probinsya, yung 7.0 last July 27, 2022, na kung saan mayroong napinsala, lalong-lalo na dito po sa town ng Bangge, ng aming kapital. Nung yumanig po kagabi, yun, iba na naman po yung epicenter doon po sa Lagayan, Abra.
So ano po ang main concerns natin at this point?
Actually, we are now consolidating reports from our MDRRMOs from 7 municipalities po ng Abra para sa karoon ay magkaroon tayo ng provincial-wide situational report po.
Okay, when it comes to the casualties and injuries, do we have an official tally, and have people been evacuated?
As of this moment, ma'am, we have actually 6 individuals from Lagayan, 1 individual from San Quintin, 3 from San Juan, and 1 from Daguman with minor cuts on their feet and hands.
Kamusta naman po ang access natin sa mga barangay? Is everything accessible right now, or are there any areas, whether sitios, barangays, or even municipalities na hindi pa natin naaabot?
At this moment po, clear na po yung ating landslide doon sa may Abra Kalinga Road, particularly po sa Likuan Bahay. Yung landslide po ng Abra Ilocos Norte Road ay okay na rin as of 10:30 a.m. pero half lane lang po siya. At some of the lang barangay and municipalities, hindi pa po na-clear yung tinatawag natin na rock slides at the same time landslides.
Hey, do we have roads that are currently unpassable?
Well, all our major roads are good and in good condition now, ma'am.
Paano naman po sa utilities natin? Power, telecommunications?
Well, stable po ang ating telecommunication according to the ICT during our meeting of council. The Abra Electric Cooperative they have only 2 sitios not electrified. So at this moment, maganda na po yung aming supply ng kuryente sa lahat po ng municipalities ng Abra.
Sir, how about the aftershocks? They are expected to be weaker than the earthquake last night. So ngayon po 400 plus daw po ang naitala. Kamusta naman po yung lagay po ng sitwasyon doon?
Well, sa tingin ko po, ma'am, yung 400 plus na sinasabi mo, yun po yung 7.0. Ngayon po, wala pa naman 100 ata na aftershocks dito. Pero may malalakas din na aftershocks itong 6.4 po.
Yung Aglipayan Church daw po natamaan din. Any updates on that location?
Yung bell tower niya ng Aglipayan Church ng Poblasyon La Paz Abra ay totally wrecked dahil po sa kalumahan na rin at of course malakas po yung lindol kagabi kaya po nangyari yun. next sa tayong din, yung 7.0, yung pinaka-old church ng Abra, nadal rin po.
Okay, in the meantime po, are you saying that all the resources kaya naman ng provincial level, or are there things that you need from the national government?
Actually po, kaninang hapon, dumating po dito si Secretary Erwin Tulfo ng DSWD at hindi po namin makakayang isolder lahat po ng ating recovery or pagbibigay po ng food packs sa ating mga kababayan. Sa kadailan po na nagre-recover pa kami sa past earthquake at saka mga typhoons po.
Okay, maraming salamat po, Arnel Valdez of the Abra PDRRMO. And after this break, locals of Siquijor are asking the public to add the Mystic Island as one of their vacation destinations. We'll look into the province when the big story returns. Keep it here on One News.
The Neeson Temple in London, and we've come here partly because it's Diwali, one of the most important festivals in the Hindu religious calendar, but also because Rishi Sunak has been chosen to be Prime Minister and will be the first person of British Indian heritage to take that role, as well as being the first British Hindu to also be Prime Minister. British Asians are one of the largest ethnic minority groups in the UK, and where we are now, in the North London borough of Brent, around a third of people are from an Asian background.
It's a proud and historic moment for the British Indian community. It's also an inspiring moment for the younger generation from people of all ethnicities to take inspiration and look to public service. I think, yes, Diwali is considered a very auspicious time in the Hindu calendar, and, you know, it's been a difficult year. It's been a year where families have struggled. We're all finding it difficult. We're all struggling, and I think, yes, hopefully this is a new beginning.
It's been a massive thing for me to see how this mandir in itself has brought me so much more closer to my religion and also to my culture. And I just hope that the future generation also get the same feeling that I have attained as well. I think being British and being Asian, it has definitely been very, very different. But at the same time, it's about accepting your identity and accepting who you are and being proud of where you have come from or where your ancestors have come from as well.
Google is getting into chips. The crunchy kind that you can actually eat. You can probably tell from the package that they're only available in Japan. And here, they're part of the marketing push for the latest Pixel 7 phones from the internet giant, designed to remind us that Google also makes the other kind of chips, the ones made out of silicon. The Pixel has Google's own Tensor G2 chip, the company's most advanced AI-powered cameras, and its litany of internet services from Google Maps and Photos to YouTube and Chrome. It's hard to imagine Apple resorting to the potato chip ploy, but that's because people already know and love the iPhone, whereas Google is running ads in the US saying, "Did you know Google makes a phone?" It says something about both the ongoing failure of Google's Pixel phones to sell in big numbers and the company's opportunity in Japan. In the US, Apple and Samsung account for 74% of the market.
You're still watching the big story here on One News. Vice President Sara Duterte is clarifying there is no historical revisionism in DepEd's modules. This comes after a student's tweet went viral for showing a module that supposedly described former President Ferdinand Marcos Sr.'s rule as the period of the new society. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez gives us a front seat to the story.
I signed Proclamation number 1081, placing the entire Philippines under martial law.
How should Filipinos describe the rule of former President Ferdinand Marcos Sr.? Is it right to call it Bagong Lipunan or the period of new society? Or should it be known as the period of martial law? For Vice President and Education Secretary Sara Duterte, both are correct for as long as they are used in the right context. The issue started with a viral tweet of a senior high student in Marinduque. The student believes that there is a form of historical revisionism in one of their modules when it described Marcos Sr.'s administration as the period of new society instead of martial law. This module has supposedly been used since school year 2021 to 2022. In a statement, VP Sara said that New Society refers to the program launched by the Marcos Sr. administration. At the same time, martial law refers to the 14-year rule of the former president. She explained that both terms have been used in DepEd textbooks since 2000 within their proper context. Speaking of context, the module in question was not used for a history class. Instead, it was meant to teach literature for humanities and social sciences, or HUMStrand. This means that the module talked about literary pieces that were produced during that time. The Education Department has earlier denied allegations of rebranding the martial law era in the Philippines. And VP Sara emphasized that her mandate does not include destroying the integrity of the country's history. Instead, she is focused on improving the quality of basic education in the Philippines. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez, We Are One News.
Looking for another place to visit here in the country? Why not check out the mystic island of Siquijor as they open their doors to tourists and visitors? Mobile journalist Kayla Macantan gives us a front seat to the story.
The mystic island because of stories of witches and sorcerers, what makes Isla de la Fuego or Siquijor Island so mysterious. I personally visited the province located in Central Visayas. At first glance, the place was clean and quiet, similar to the lives of residents. My heart was at ease during my entire stay, far from the scary stories said about Siquijor. That's why locals who are dependent on the province's tourism want to clarify this.
Yun nga, aswang, ganon, mangkukulam. Yun yung kumakalat na mga haka-haka, kumbaga. Pero ang totoo talaga, marami talagang healer dito. Kaya healing island yung
Besides being a beautiful place, locals also say that Siquijor is a safe place to visit due to its low crime rate.
You know, everybody knows everybody. That is the main reason why. And, we don't need to commit crimes to survive in the island. We might be a fifth-class province, but I am proud to tell everyone that our poverty level is only 1.8%. There's nothing to be scared about Siquijor.
The faith healers of the province, also known as mananambal, still continue with their treatment, whether medical or spiritual. They clarified that they don't inflict pain when treating someone. Instead, they only use leaves, potions, and ritual traditions, something that should not be feared. Besides this, the beauty of the island is also breathtaking, given the natural resources that can be found in the area.
When you are here, not only are you surrounded by our pristine natural wonders like our numerous beaches, marine sanctuaries, forests, and mountains, you can also experience our various traditional healing practices which have been passed down for generations.
Folklore has had a great impact on how people perceive Siquijor. But locals ask the public to give them a chance to show off the beauty and wonders of the province.
You would understand further the island as you visit and explore the place.
Mobile journalist Kayla Macantan, We Are One News.
Have you been to Siquijor?
Hindi pa nga adding that to the list.
You might want to visit this coming long weekend, 5 days. 5 days ba?
Well, we have plans for this long weekend with the family. But certainly, a lot of people are planning. We certainly plan to see the country, lalo na bumubukas na ulit ang turismo.
Yeah, very, very excited. Actually, Siquijor is known for its healing, I guess, traditions and being a little bit mystic. But on the other side of it, as we can see, beautiful marine life, beautiful natural resources, and we have a lot of that all across the country. I'm excited to go there for my show.
Buti ka pa. Basta ako, nasa listahan ko na yan. And that's the big story tonight. For more updates, follow News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. You may also log on to onenews.ph for more analysis. Ako po si Robbie Alampay.
The big story is also available via Signal Play app. Make a free account now at signalplay.com and stream One News anytime, anywhere. I'm Gretchen Ho. Stay safe, Philippines.
We are One News, all sides, all the time.